Mahler's First Symphony was composed between the years of 1887 and 1898 with its final revision. The First Symphony is one of his most popular works and is performed quite often. It is also the first Mahler symphony that I ever played. I fell in love with Mahler's music ever since. The first movement of Mahler's First Symphony depicts the days of youth and the awakening of nature at dawn. To mark the start of day, Mahler uses the woodwinds in open harmonies, the French horns with simple melodies, and the trumpet fanfares played offstage to simulate distant calls from across the pasture. When playing offstage calls, it is important to remember the distance affects the sound and intonation. The distance will make your sound late to the orchestra and low in pitch, so be sure to stay on top of the conductor's beat and push your tuning slide in to compensate for pitch. The placement offstage will determine how loud or soft you'll need to play these excerpts. Regardless of that dynamic, be sure to play these with the clarity and energy of a loud fanfare. In an audition, I would play these with a more mezzo dynamic as to give a little distant effect. Make sure to translate the German in all of your Mahler parts. Mahler was very specific about his musical instruction, and it will aid greatly in the performance of his works. It is important to note the accelerandos and ritardandos in the part, and also be very clear with your rhythmic precision. Make a difference between sixteenths and triplets. I like to work with a tuner in D major to line up my thirds and fifths here. The third movement is beautiful and ethnic sounding. It harkens back to the music of Mahler's youth and community. I like to stylize these figures and exaggerate some of the markings. Using your imagination and listening to Mahler's music will aid in the expression on this excerpt. Exaggerate the dynamic markings and sing through the connected notes using an appropriate vibrato. The notes with lines and slurs should feel slightly weighted by your breath, or lightly articulated. Be sure here to hear the accompaniment in your head rather than having to subdivide this section. It will make it much more enjoyable to play. As I like to say, sometimes you can't think, just dance. Have fun playing Mahler and good luck.